Glory of the Nathria Raider is by far one of the most fun achievements you can work towards in Shadowlands. I just did it recently with my awesome Empire guildies, and in this video I'll be sharing some key things you need to do in order to get it. My name is Ivona from momsden.com, and if you're here for the first time, subbing is a good idea, as I do simple WoW guides for classes, raids, and collectibles you'll love if you're up for some easy in-game wins. If you want to go through this as painlessly as possible in the current meta, I highly recommend doing it on normal mode. If you're heroic or mythic geared, having the raid consumables isn't even necessary, as you'll often stop doing damage in order to not kill the boss before you finish the task mid-fight. Before you go over anything in this video, the only prep you'll actually need for your whole raid group is one of you getting the Son of Animus battle pet from the Throne of Thunder or the auction house, and I'll go over what you need it for later in the video. The first achievement I'll go over is Blind as a Pat, and you'll get it on Shriekwing. If you pay close attention to the edges of the room, you'll notice that there's bat poop spread across the room. What you want to do is place markers on them, and all you have to do is leave the bloody puddle from echolocation right on top of the poop. If you get targeted with echo, just run to one of the markers and stand there until you get bitten by the NPC and leave a puddle. Do that 6 times for the whole group and you'll get the achievement. The second achievement is called Taking Care of Business from Huntsman Altimor, and it requires the tank in charge of the dogs to basically kite the dogs through the corners of the room. The tank does it until each dog drops their rather gigantic poop on the floor, upon which you can DPS each doggo. Go easy on the damage here, as you don't want the dogs killed until all 3 of them, well, do their thing. Because of this, it's a good idea to tank the boss in the middle of the room to avoid additional cleaving, and that's it for the achievement. The next one is really easy, and it's the Feed the Beast that you'll get on the Hungering Destroyer. On each side of the room where the boss is, you'll see 3 big red anima canisters, and there's 6 overall. You need to direct the volatile ejection beam towards the unbroken canisters in order to destroy them. Sometimes it may take multiple hits to break the canister, but if you aim correctly, you should be able to destroy it on your first attempt. Once all the canisters are down, go ahead and kill the Hungering, and that's it for Feed the Beast. Moving on to Lady Innerva and the I don't know what I expected achievement. Remember when I mentioned you needed the Son of Animus pet for your raid group in order to do this? Well, this is the fight you want to summon the pet before you start the combat, and once you're 4 minutes into the fight, an unnaturally big ad will spawn that you have to kill before killing the boss. That ad is actually your pet that turns into a Dark Animus once it reaches 100 energy, and you'll have about a minute to kill it, so it's a bit of a DPS check. If more of you have the Son of Animus, make sure only one of you summons their pet, otherwise you'll have multiple ads to kill, and it's not going to be as fun as you may think right now. The next achievement is the Private Stock over at Artificer Xy'mox. In the room just before the boss, there are 3 different zone animas. You can find those in the 2 urns and 1 statue just before the boss room. 3 people should be assigned to pick up each one of those, and 3 people will have to be portaled to the correct position once they pick up an item during the fight. This means you'll have to place the portals correctly throughout the fight. 1 portal should always be placed in the middle of the room, while the other ones need to be exactly at the marked spots at the edges of the room. Basically, when one of those 3 people pick up their anima, they'll get a zone buff. Depending on which phase the boss is in, the anima buffs will disappear and they'll need to be clicked on and returned. Every time this happens, 1 person needs to click on the anima in order to return it, but once the anima is clicked on, that player will get stunned. That's why it's important to drop the portal onto the stunned player, so they can take the anima to the deposit place. Animas spawn in the middle of the room and need to be taken to their corresponding deposit place, and since the player is stunned, they can only get to the deposit place if the portal is spawned on them and therefore automatically transports them to the right place. As per the deposit spots, the one for Maldraxxus appears green, the Ardenweald one is blue, and the Maw one is purple. You can see in the video where we had the deposit spots marked, so you can do the same thing in your run and you'll be just fine. The next one I'll be going over is the Burning Bright that you'll get over at Sun King. In the room, you'll find 4 braziers in the 4 corners of the room, and each one needs to be hit by a specific mechanic to light them. When you stand at the entrance of the room, the top left brazier needs to be hit by Fiery Strike, and you'll do that by having one of the tanks pick up the shade and face him in a way that he hits the brazier with the strike. The top right brazier, looking from the entrance, is the Blazing Brazier, and that one needs to be hit with Blazing Surge. On normal, that gets cast on the active tank, so have them face the boss at the brazier, but if you're on heroic, anyone can be targeted, so have the raid stacked between the boss and the brazier to light it. The bottom left brazier is the Smoldering Brazier, and that one needs to be hit with Smoldering Remnants. Basically kite one of the phoenixes there and kill it on top of the brazier, and that should be it. Finally, the bottom right brazier is the Embered Brazier. This one needs to be hit with the Ember Blast, and that's where you'll take the Ember Blast Soak as a group once someone is targeted. So try to stack there as a group to bait the blast on top of the brazier. Once you've got all 4, you're welcome to kill the bosses. That will award you with the achievement. On to the Council of Blood and the Poor Decision Making achievement. This one is extremely easy, as you don't need to do anything special except for clicking on the waiters that spawn about every minute throughout the fight. We had a druid run around and click on the waiters, so I suggest a mobile class for this task, as you don't need the full force DPS all the time during the combat anyway. And that's it for this part of the achievement. The next one is on Sludgefist, and it's called Dirtflap's Revenge. There's an NPC in the room next door called Dirtflap, and one person needs to talk to him and learn the order in which the pillars need to be destroyed. Make sure to not over DPS Sludge, as you may end up killing him before all the pillars are down, which will deny you the chance for the glory achievement in a single run. So go easy on the DPS until you've done what Dirtflap has told you, and that should be it. Once you get to the Stone Legion Generals, you'll be doing the Feed Me Seymour achievement. I mean, what a great Simpsons reference. Once you've talked the combat through with your group, go to the little garden room in front of the SLG's boss room and click on the flowers that are on the side of the path to the room. You'll get a buff that has a hidden 10-minute timer, so you need to do this achievement in 10 minutes. Once everyone has the buff, during the intermissions, every person should pick up 1 anima orb and take it to Renathal. Once everyone has done that, your bouquet of wilted sanguine roses will turn into the bouquet of blooming sanguine roses. If you've all got it, you can safely kill the boss. Oh, and if you happen to die after the acquiring the Blooming Roses buff, you'll still get the achievement if you get resurrected before the boss is down, and your group members will get it anyway. Just make sure to survive until everyone has got the Blooming buff, as you'll otherwise have to wipe and go again. That's pretty much it for this one. Finally, you're at Denathrius, and that's where you'll get the Clear Conscience achievement. And if you make it happen, you'll also be awarded with Glory of the Nathria Raider and an awesome bat mount. This one is pretty simple, as everyone needs to enter phase 2 with exactly 0 stacks. So make sure to soak 5 times, and if someone makes a mistake and doesn't soak all the stages, one of the tanks should be prepared to miss 1 soak so they can soak the 6th one with everyone who didn't manage to do it in time. If all of you are working in sync though, both tanks should be stacked along with everyone else. Once you get to phase 2 and no one has the stacks, you're free to kill the boss and reap your rewards. And once you're done with all of this, the best way to commemorate your victory is to go to a big city and show off your new wings. Being on a roleplay server like we are makes it even mandatory, so enjoy a bit of fun with your friends, as that's really the best part of this whole experience. If you found this guide useful, leave it a like so more people can find it, and leave your questions in the comments so I can get back to you. Enjoy your new mount, and I'll see you in my next video. Good luck, and bye bye.